Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Premier Perspective. Today we are here to talk about the two FA Cup semifinal games, Chelsea versus Manchester City, Leicester versus Southampton. First off, Chelsea versus City. As a City fan, obviously very disappointed with the result. I thought City were quite poor. They never really looked motivated in the first half. It wasn't until Foden and Gundogan came on in the second that they seemed to want to actually play. Uh, Goalie in the second half, or was the goal in the second half, right?
Yeah, second half,
Second
55th
half,
minute.
55th minute, yeah. Uh, Stefan with a very questionable
Yeah, it was a bit
coming
weird. I
out
mean,
and positioning. Easy goal for Chelsea, 1-0. That's pretty much the game. I mean, it was uneventful. Chelsea looked
yeah,
like they wanted it way more. Questions in terms of the rotation of the squad with City. I don't know. I just didn't like that
yeah,
Pep didn't put a full squad
City's,
out.
yeah, and not even that. I mean, if you look at the squad, I mean, it should be that should be considered a full squad. Looking at that, I mean, in my
Yeah.
opinion, Zach Steffen didn't make a difference.
Hmm.
That goal, I think it was just either way that was going to
Yeah.
happen. City just completely broke down.
It was
Um,
bound that Chelsea was going to
Sterling
score.
used to be Sterling,
Oof.
terrible
I thought he was
terrible
awful
performances
yesterday.
lately. Um,
He just had a
Same
bad
with
string of
Gabriel Jesus.
performances.
Yeah, I know it's really unlucky for him. You hate to see it because we know he's a talented player, but
How good
I
he's
don't know what
been.
the deal is. But and yeah, because we know he can be absolutely amazing. He can be so dynamic for them. Same on the other side of the attack force with the front Torres, who has been good, especially in the earlier Champions League group stage games. He was amazing.
Hmm.
But now, especially playing the three of them together, Jesus Sterling and Ferran Torres, they just haven't been able to create anything. It's been really boring watching them. And
Yeah.
KDB going off early in the second half with an ankle injury. At first looked really bad, and earlier today it was supposed to be supposedly coming out in the next couple of days that it was going to leave him out for quite a while. But now it said that it's only some bruising right now, and there's no damage to the ligaments or anything real important. So
Which
he
is
could be
good.
back for yeah, it's absolutely amazing for the EFL Cup final against Tottenham, which I
Hmm.
believe is on the 24th.
Yeah, next
So
weekend.
that would be great to have him back for that. But overall, City were just bad this game.
Yeah,
Chelsea,
they were.
even though I mean it, Chelsea winning was the separation here. Even so, Chelsea had a pretty poor game as well. Even though they didn't let up, City didn't really challenge them. Chelsea
Yeah.
had their chances. I believe they scored one, maybe even two offsides goals, and they
I think,
just
yeah, I think with this game, what you see a lot has to do with the middle of the field and with playing Rodri and Gundogan together with the front three that somewhat lacked creativity. There was no creativeness in the middle of the field for City.
mhm.
And when you have someone like Conte on the other team who matches very well with Jorginho in the middle, the two of them just had an easy day in the park and there was no real trouble
Yeah,
for them.
completely controlled it, and
And it
that's
wasn't
they're
until
quality
Foden and
players.
Gundogan came on that there seemed to be somewhat of a push from City. But then at that point, they already slacked off for so much of the game. So they could have only done so much at that point.
Yeah, so now that of course that means that the quadruple is off.
Hmm.
Um, didn't expect it, honestly,
Didn't
just
either.
because I mean City has a great team, but with this amount of games in a short period of time, especially
Hmm.
rotating your squad on a rotation that is really poor when they do play, and you can't expect much out of them. The quadruple is off, but to Chelsea, I could take a loss to Chelsea even though it was poor.
Yeah,
Um,
for sure. Chelsea's been great too. So at least it wasn't like we lost
yeah, it wasn't.
to a
Yeah,
team that was like not good or hasn't been playing well at all, or like to a
right,
rival. Like it was Chelsea. They've been
right. It
good.
doesn't hurt as much.
Yeah. And then on the other side, Leicester versus Southampton, in what isn't really a marquee game as you would say, but you were expecting a good performance from Leicester, and that's what they delivered. With the experience compared to Southampton, with having a great coach like Brendan Rodgers and former City man Kelechi Iheanacho, who just can't stop scoring goals at this point.
He cannot
Got
stop
this.
scoring goals. That guy,
I think he's 12 goals in 12 games, all competitions.
really, that's amazing.
Yeah, so great performance. Leicester got that win there, which is now set up for a Leicester versus Chelsea final that's set to take place on May 15th at Wembley Stadium. It'll be interesting to see how that game goes with Chelsea versus Leicester. I personally think that Chelsea should be able to take care of that game, but obviously it's a final. We've seen some huge upsets in FA Cup finals before. I know last year everyone expected Chelsea to beat Arsenal. Arsenal won, so you never know what could happen, but it will be a good game for sure.
Yeah, I mean Leicester, like you said, have been absolutely amazing this season. I
Mm-hmm.
believe they're still top three. West Ham dropped points the other day. Newcastle were able to, pull off a 3-2 win against them. I'm sure West Ham will keep it up, but as for Leicester, they've just had good performances this season, beating City 5-2 beginning of the season. Didn't they beat Liverpool 2-0
Mm-hmm.
in the Prem? I think it was 2-0 or 3-1. Oh, it was
Yeah,
the one where Allison came out and just swung at it
had a
like he swung
stinker.
kickball. Yeah. Um, at that point, it's just commonplace. You can't even put a finger on the exact game, but
Yeah.
that'll be a great game. Leicester, Chelsea, both teams. What you can say about these teams, uh, they always want it. They come
Mm-hmm.
out every game in whatever competition it may be, and they always want it. Jamie Vardy was able to put in amazing work throughout the whole game, and he played the bigger part in that Iheanacho goal. And Iheanacho, amazing recently. You said 12 goals in 12 games, all competitions,
Yeah.
and
And
he's absolutely been kicking it up.
he
Starting
has
that,
been.
yeah, he's love to see former City man be able to play so well for Leicester, who are also a great team. And Leicester, I mean, I don't think people really expected much after that 2016 shock title win,
Mm-hmm.
but now they're really coming back and in the prevalent in the top six, and they're always
Yeah.
challenging.
And
So
now have a good chance of winning in silverware this season.
yeah, definitely. So it would be great to see them win it, but the final again will be a really good game. Chelsea still in the
Yeah.
UCL though, so another competition to worry about, but it'll be an
Yeah,
interesting
for
one.
sure. I like I said, I think Chelsea will win. I will be more rooting for Leicester in this game, but it will definitely be interesting. But that pretty much wraps it up. Two semifinal games. Uh, yeah, nothing too fascinating in terms of the games, in terms of the score line, but definitely a good final to come. Once again, we want to say thank you to anyone who's shown support to the channel so far. A lot of great things coming in the future. Another thing that we want to say, a lot of Champions League content. We're gonna have a video on the breaking news of the
Super
European
League.
Super League. More details about what it is, what's going to be happening with that on our next video. So make sure to check that out if you want to, get some information on what exactly is going to be happening. But yeah, once again, thank you, and we'll see you guys soon.